Before I begin, may I ask you something? What is the true meaning of legacy? Do you let it dictate who you are, your purpose, your impact on others? Is it what's been passed down, or what you want to pass down? This is what I think is the theme of Castlevania. Our story begins in the year 1476. In Wallachia, Transylvania, a man named Matthias Kronqvist prays to a dark deity to give him the power to destroy humanity. The man, now calling himself Dracula, goes on a genocidal rampage against mankind. When all attempts to stop him fail, the people, left with no choice, turn to the Belmonts. Vampire hunters feared for their stature and presumed inhuman powers. Shunned by society, they live in exile. Despite that, Trevor Belmont takes up the task and sets out on a lone journey. Nonetheless, he finds himself with unexpected allies. Sypha the sorceress, from a likewise persecuted family, Grant the disgraced thief, and Dracula's own son Alucard, each seeking to kill the Count and redeem their tarnished legacies. They are victorious, but even after his death, Dracula's curse had only just begun. His influence haunts the world, even 300 years later.
Vor langer Zeit lebten die Menschen glücklich und zufrieden. Niemand bemerkte den Schatten, der sich langsam über ihnen ausbreitete. Die Dunkelheit trübte ihre Sinne und das Böse fraß sich tief in ihre Seelen. Vom Wahnsinn getrieben schmiedeten sie einen Pakt mit dem Teufel. Zu später Stunde kamen sie zusammen, um gemeinsam die Mächte der Finsternis mit ihrem sündigen Blut zu rufen. Sie zu erlösen von ihrer sterblichen Existenz, den Anbeginn einer neuen Welt vor Augen. Und so begab es sich, dass nach 100 Jahren das Böse wieder Fleisch geworden war. Als unsterbliches Geschöpf der Nacht kann es die Gestalt des Wolfs, der Fledermaus oder des Nebels annehmen. Es labt sich am Blut der Menschen. Dracula, der Fürst der Finsternis, Herr des Teufelsschlosses, ist auferstanden.
Welcome to my first Castlevania experience, Rondo of Blood, released in 1993 on a console called the PC Engine, the oft-forgotten third leg to the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. So with that, let's begin. 19-year-old Richter Belmont, fearing for the safety of his girlfriend, rides forth to the town she lives in. When Dracula returns, so does his castle. Monsters given new life by Dracula rise from their graves to ravage the mortal world. Amidst the town set ablaze, a girl caught in the chaos witnesses the closest the world has come to death and gets captured. Richter then arrives to save his girlfriend, Annette, from the sea of flames. He gears up and prepares to whip some ass. With reckless determination, the young man charges forth to save his girl and kill Dracula too while he's at it. But is his mission out of duty to the Belmont name, or does he desire his own way? Here begins the legacy of Richter Belmont. The first level takes place when Richter is riding to the town. Hold on, you know what? Screw the formal narration, this is an awesome scene! There's parallax scrolling and dynamic weather effects? But me gushing and glazing can wait. The Chicago Grim Reaper flies in out of nowhere, making our first obstacle death itself. Now, the first thing I felt was how you're actually getting pushed back as you try to walk. Props to the programmers, they made you feel like you're in a bad storm. But at the same time, it's also making me get hit by Bone Zone's attacks. I don't even know the controls yet, and I don't know if I could die, so I was like, wait, can I actually die here? Yeah, of course there's more. Okay, that was kind of cool, actually. He gets away, but maybe we can still save the town? Holy shit, this music! Oh yeah, the town. Well, whoever didn't escape is definitely dead. But Richter's priority is finding a net. That aside, let me go over how this game works. This is a platformer where you go right from the start of the level to the end. You have one button for your jump, and another for your whip, your main attack. You can also pick up little sub-weapons to use if the whip just isn't cutting it. To use these, you have to press up and the attack button, but you have limited ammo. Lastly, when you jump, you can't move while you're in the air, so you have to... Have I mentioned I never played these games before? Yeah, Richter can't swim. I guess it makes sense, since in the Middle Ages I don't think many people really knew how to swim. Man, this first level just has an incredible atmosphere. Skeletons jumping out of windows is just plain cool. Talk about a strong first impression. Anywho, the last of the basic mechanics. There's these candles everywhere that you can hit with your whip and get stuff out of. You actually have to be precise with your whip sometimes. If you try and hit it at the top of your jump, you'll miss. Don't jump at all, you'll also miss. But that aside, there's a big wall blocking us from the town square, and with no other way, we go down into the sewers. Once inside, I noticed the wall on the left that looks like I can stand on it. I thought it might be a secret, so without really thinking, Alright, I guess it's not a secret. After giving up, we make it out of the sewers, and get a slow build-up of the town square. We see the threat Dracula's forces pose to civilians, and I also think they really sell the scale here, while cheating it. See, the PC Engine could actually only have one background layer, so to work around that, they made a wide area where you're forced to see the fire on the bottom half of that layer, cutting into the buildings at the top. With a change in music and a dragon flying in the back, I think I know what's coming. Okay, the Wyvern has 3 attacks. Fire that scatters flames on the ground that you can walk between to avoid. This thing, which normally homes in on you, but I got lucky and caught it in the corner. And lastly, a swoop down. With a final whip, he falls. And with that, our first level is clear. From here, we enter Castlevania's courtyard. Yeah, that's actually the name of this place, and it's also the first level of the first Castlevania game. For this first part of the level, I want to use my degree for something and talk about the animations, mainly the walk and whip. This game might look slow, and it is, but it doesn't feel sluggish. I think what helps with that is Richter's chat stride. His motions are wide, his steps, how he swings his arms and body, He covers a lot of ground despite not being very fast. Plus, it helps with clarity. The whip has more frames when you're pulling it out, so it's not instant. All that gets tested with this guy. He has a whole kitchen sink under his armor with how much he throws. Wait, you think that skeleton at the start of the level is trying to be like him? Now, I died so much to this guy, I thought I was missing something. I wasn't missing company though. When I was playing this level, I was in a voice call with my buddy Rob, who's been featured on my channel before.
The thing is, I can't be too mad because his voice cracking.
Can't be too bad, and you can't be too mad because you're playing Devil May Cry, not Overwatch.
Shut the fuck.
Anyway, he has some of the best game design intuition I've ever seen, so I asked him a question. Indie devs know how to make Metroidvanias thanks to most of the games after this one. Okay, so when I was making this, I forgot to explain what a Metroidvania is in case anyone watching doesn't know. It's basically a platformer where you explore an open map, collecting upgrades or items that allow you to explore more areas. Kind of the opposite of 2D Mario, Sonic, and the game I'm playing, which is you going from level to level in a straight line more or less. But if someone wants to make a game like this one, I'll call it a Classicvania, what makes them what they are? And he said, it's committal. That's when I realized you can't move after your jump because you have to commit to where you're gonna land. You have to time your whip because you have to commit to when and where you're gonna strike. It's funny how I caught on to the series fundamentals during the level that's paying homage to the original game. I actually didn't know at first. I only had a feeling because the colors of this room stood out in an unnatural way, like trying to mimic NES color and design. I thought this level was kind of boring at first though. I guess that's sort of a downside to paying homage to the first level of the first game. Wait, what am I hearing in the distance? I don't think that was in the original game. You have to run away from this thing while avoiding gaps in the floor and zombies coming at you from the front. If you get knocked down, you end up in the sewers like I did. On my second try, I realized that this part was probably made to show that this game has evolved from the original thanks to technology. Sometimes ideas just come from wanting to show off new tools. After we play Scooby-Doo Creepy Run, we escape through the door. We're safe now. And then he breaks down the wall. You can still die if you don't make this jump. The timing's tight too. But we do manage to escape the behemoth, but now we can't get across, so we have to go down the sewers. Now, did you notice my sub-weapon? During Creepy Run, there's a candle that hides a key, and further in, we see a locked door. However, for some reason the key wasn't working. I thought you used the same input to use sub-weapons. It turns out you do, it just wasn't working for some... What the f***? I didn't hear about this castle being on an island. We gotta kill this guy.
Who are you, mister? A good guy?
I am Richter Belmont, vampire hunter. And you are?
My name's Maria Renard. I heard all about you from the net. I came here to beat some bad men, but I got caught. My family are vampire hunters too, so I guess that means we should be friends now.
Sure, friends. But Maria, you're too young for this. You just let the big hunter here take care of that bad man, okay?
Oh, you don't know anything. I can handle this just fine.
Oh god, I forgot my health is low. I need to get out of here right now. Hey, player change, what's that? You can play as Maria. Instead of a whip, she shoots doves, has her own sub-weapons, can double jump, and slide. Richter, what do you mean let the big hunter take care of this? She can do more than you. We can even outrun all the zombies by sliding over and over. And do you remember this area? Richter had to go into the sewers to get past that wall, but Maria can just jump over it. Richter should just retire at this point, man. With the music change, you know what's about to happen. Now this boss, this is my favorite fight in the whole game. It's fast, frantic, and his animations are just awesome. He jumps from wall to wall, so you have to try and see where he'll land. He shoots fireballs too, but they can go through Maria's turtle shell if you have that. What worked for me with this boss is actually being up in his face, since he can quickly get distance from you. When he bounces everywhere, you have to catch him right when he lands. When we beat him, he has one last surprise. Yep, that's a pixelated piece. With Maria scarred for life, our next level is clear.
Leave it to me.
Back at the main menu, I noticed this. This game has a stage select, and hovering over stage 1, I see that there's another level below it. This game actually has alternate routes that take you to different levels. We can make a story out of this, which is something I like doing when playing games light on story. Let's say, after beating the Wolfman, Richter's troubled that Annette's nowhere to be found. He's also worried about bringing Maria along since he doesn't want to put her in more danger. At the same time, he feels bad because he knows it's not fair to her since she insists on helping him. So, Richter tells her to go back to the town and see if Annette is hiding there. Maria happens to be acquainted with Annette, so she gladly goes, eager to help and prove to Richter she's capable. Maria has different level names than Richter, and since we're back, I learned you can read this sign, the town of Algiba. This place is actually from Castlevania 2. Here's the original for comparison. Another callback to the past. And speaking of the past, do you remember this area? Where I thought there was a secret behind that wall? Well, I figured I can make it with Maria's wall jump, and turns out I was right the whole time. We enter what looks like someone's house, but we don't find anyone hiding. However, there's a giant hole in this house that leads us to some statues. And Maria probably doesn't care. I bet she'd rather jump up this well. I assume this is where the town gets its water, actually. Up the well, we end up on this massive bridge where we can see Castlevania in the distance, but that thought has to wait. The other boss of stage 1 is this giant serpent. Because his body is segmented, that allows its animations to be really smooth. It's complicated, I might talk about it later. But that's the only thing I like about this fight. It was pretty annoying because you can only hit its head, and since it's constantly moving, you have a tight window to do so. When I thought I beat it though, the fight didn't end. Because it has a last resort attack, like the Wolfman. And with luck on our side, we unlock the way to a new level. According to Maria, we're taking the long way to Castlevania by crossing this now crumbling bridge. This area is pretty visually different from every other locale, taking place in broad daylight, and I need to mention the music. Alright, now I can talk about this. So the PC Engine was actually the first home console to support Red Book audio, which meant CD quality music and voice acting support, through an add-on, but it was still first. So that's why this game has music like this, while the competition had music like this. still great though. But what isn't is this knight too tall for Maria to jump over, so we have to fight. This guy has many moves, but that's something to note. The developers wanted to give every enemy multiple attacks and animations so that you can read your enemy, watch what they do, and counter accordingly. Hey wait, that sounds like Dark Souls. For my crime of telling the truth, I'm subjected to the Bone Zone. This guy's a joke. Just a bone-grown arm and fire breath to watch out for?
Come on now.
There had to be something. This game's not that easy. Anyway, he changes into a bone dragon that's always flying and dropping skulls, and after that, he becomes a blob of bones that's always charging at you, and you have to react quickly because you can't hold him off staying in one place. RIP to my man Skeletor though, you were just in the way. Returning to Richter, I learned a new tech in this stage. First, we run into this knight taking advantage of 2D, poking his spear through the stage. Then when I reach him... Did you see it? Well, I see that this place is a giant cathedral. Believe it or not, we're still in the castle. This place isn't in ruins either. There's pristine pews all lined up, facing an altar with a giant golden cross. God ain't ready for this though. Check me out! I figured out you can backflip in this game. Bet Maria can't do that. Speaking of which, how's she doing? Ah, sweet! Dracula made horrors beyond my comprehension. Never mind. She seems to be on top of things. At least on the outside. Maria, wanting to prove herself, stows her fear and keeps it internalized, but it's soon replaced with curiosity, as further in the cave, she sees a stairwell, and going down, we find a girl.
Who's there? Ah. Sister. Surely you're help sent from heaven. You are an angel. Please hurry back to the village. And be careful! Wait! What's your name? Maria Renard, vampire hunter. Maria, I know God is watching over you.
That's cute. She's trying to copy Richter, who's in the middle of fighting a giant skeleton atop the chapel's bell tower. It takes a lot of hits, but knowing how to backflip can actually make things easier. It's a pretty good way to create some distance so you can hit him easier. Well, with him out of the way, we end up in this tunnel with giant candles everywhere, but at the end of it, some dude just jacks your sub-weapon and runs away! Maria keeps going in the graveyard where there's this giant fossil. I wonder if this was a beast like the one in level 2. These birds are beasts though, they can cut these balls in chains. Curious, we follow the sound. That wasn't beast mode, I'm afraid. Alright, fight time. Wonder what the boss of the graveyard level is. Like, what abomination could they cook up for this? That's it? The child of a Zelda and Kirby boss? I don't know if I cheesed it, but that was the easiest fight of my life. Let's see if Richter's boss is a pushover. Oh, there's some environmental storytelling here. Well, he's been here a long time. You think he was the guy in the painting? Well, here to inflict pain is the Minotaur. Okay, so don't be up in his face, his breath stinks. So we do some sick flips to get away. This fight is actually a good test for spacing, since you don't want to be next to him. He's kind of the opposite of the Wolfman, actually, which makes me wonder how fighting them at the same time would go. But that doesn't matter now, because I know he's going to have a last resort attack. I'm ready for it this time. I tried to dodge it, I swear. But with that, our next level complete. So I decided to play as Maria here to add to this narrative of mine. Let's say, after Maria freed Terra from the graveyard, she sent one of her doves to Richter to inform him that there was a maiden on her route. So, thinking Annette could be there, he thanked Maria, and they switched. Maria ends up in Castlevania's inner walls, which is just a torture chamber, though Maria, confident in her abilities, sees it more as a playground. At the end of here, there's two paths. I went to the Flea Man on the Switch because I was curious. Stepping on it makes stairs appear, so let's see what's up. After we see what Richter's up to, he gets to go to a forest while Maria has to explore a dungeon. Did she get the short end of the sticking up? No, this level fucking sucks. Okay, in the first part, there's so many frogs chasing you. When they first show up, you're above water, so you might think, oh, those frogs are a nice foreground detail. But when you have to go down to the water, you get eternal torture. That's what was up those stairs back at the dungeon. I tried to get through here, but I died so much, even as Maria, that I just gave up and went the other way. And in Richter's way is this frog statue. Alright, I'm gonna confess something. I knew there was a maiden here, but I had to look up how to free her. So you see that frog statue down there? That's where we're supposed to go, and to do that, you have to hit this frog statue at the end, and the one at the start I hit earlier. Then, you have to backtrack to where that statue under the bridge was, and then you reach the barred door. This was the one thing I had to look up because I was not gonna figure that out.
Oh, are you human? Did you come to save me?
Yeah.
Oh my, you are injured.
Nah, I'm fine. This is nothing to make a fuss over. See ya.
Oh, wait a minute. My father is a doctor. That should do it.
Thank you.
Oh no, it's I who should be thanking you. Thank you very much. You're going further ahead, aren't you? Do be very careful.
That level was flicking my balls, but now Maria has to deal with bigger ones. What are these even for? Did they tie people down so the balls could crush them? Actually, that's possible. Little CBT without the C. I just hope we're almost done. Oh my god, not another one of these guys. Take me back to Richter. Oh my god, you have to backtrack again! I thought these games were Metroidvanias yet. You know, I think Richter went through the actual torture chamber. Finally, the boss. And Richter caught up to us. Let's see what we're dealing with. A Headless Knight. Okay, I'll be honest, this boss wasn't very interesting in my opinion. I did like this one attack where you have to take cover using the platforms, but at this point I just wanted to be done with these levels. I swear if I have to fight him again as Richter... While Richter's glad he saved a maiden from getting sacrificed, he's internally irate that Annette has yet to be found. And as if sensing his emotion, a familiar voice calls to him. He comes to a ghost ship docked outside Castlevania to settle the score with someone he knows will be here. Once we're inside the ship, we come to a room where all these weapons start flying at you, but when you hit them, they just keep coming back. Then I noticed the sword had a red glow, so I targeted that. It can be tricky to hit, but when you do, all the other weapons get destroyed. Moving on, we stroll through this empty hallway, only to find that the exit is blocked. Nothing we do opens it, because it was a trap. That painting starts moving towards you, and if you get caught, it's instant death. That was a really cool animation, actually. You know, I know I've been saying sick and cool a lot, but there is a reason. I think Rondo of Blood was designed to make Castlevania more stylish, more appealing to the Japanese youth. Think about it. This game goes for a more anime-inspired art direction, more action-y set pieces, enemies that will make you go, "That's rad!" Your character can do backflips, and Richter was the youngest playable Belmont in the series when this game came out. Hopefully you can see what I mean with all I've shown this far, but now we're at the top of the ship. We're not letting death run away this time. Richter has too much pride and anger to let that go. This fight starts off simple, he just throws his sights at you, but as you can see, he sends more and more all at once. You have to keep moving, even with the axe sub-weapon. Oh, there's those skulls from the prologue. In his second phase, he reveals his true form, which I interpret to be a rotting old man casting an illusion of power he doesn't truly have. He's weakened, yet becomes more defensive. He starts spacing you out, like how you fight, making it feel like a fencing match to me. And with the fumble of the century, we have our revenge against death.
Such a fine girl. Surely the blood of a beautiful woman will quench the thirst in my body.
Stay away from me!
What are you afraid of? In exchange for your blood, you can gain eternal life and beauty from me, can you not? Please, it's a simple matter. I get what I need, and you benefit as well. And then together, you and I shall reign over this world.
If it means becoming a savage, I would sooner kill myself.
As you wish. However, what exactly makes me a savage? If my existence itself makes me savage, is that not the result of this world? Are not all the people of this age savages as well? If so, I should be a shining beacon for what this world wants me to be. The one to lead them. Do you not agree?
My Lord Count,
What is it?
there are intruders in the castle.
I see. Destiny can be quite fun at times. They've likely come to interfere. I hope you'll be in a better mood later.
Save me. Victor.
And look who our little intruder is. Now it's Maria's turn for revenge. Is what I would say if he didn't run like a coward in summoning something to fight for him. This giant bat's pretty simple. He just shoots homing fireballs that you can hit, and becomes a drill you can just move away from. But wait, there's more! Stage 6 is actually a gauntlet of bosses from Castlevania 1. And next up is Medusa. She's also not too bad. You just need to keep your distance since all of her attacks are ranged and it will melt you if you're up in her face. This next one though killed me so much. The Mummy, and it's only because he summons 3 platforms you have a second to jump over at the same time shooting indestructible raps that I just don't know how to avoid. I had to spam Maria's dragon sub-weapon and also get lucky. Last and least is Frankenstein's monster. After the mummy, I was shocked how easy he was. What does he even do? But for my sake, I was glad for that. Once you get all his summons, the New York Financer finally faces you. No more games. It's time for Maria to face her inner fear and kill her captor. He summons 2 orbs. One allows him to conjure fire that orbits around you, the other casts lightning that walls you on both sides, and he can even send both orbs at you at once. These attacks force you to move how they want you to, yet at the same time, you still have to hit the purple guy who's teleporting all around you. So it's all about timing. And good timing too, because it's about time this guy got what was coming to him. We arrive at the clock tower, where both heroes link up and unite. But first, I'm gonna break character again. This first part of the level is Do you see those bats in the background? Well, it feels like all of them come here to kill you. They're big, they multiply, some block your way, others swoop at you, they take multiple hits, and you have to keep moving because the bridge is crumbling at your feet. On God, I just gave up and switched to Maria here. I can still add to my story though. So let's say Richter couldn't get past the bridge, but impressed by Maria killing the wizard, he trusts her to open the path to the clock tower so he can get in too. Maria, ecstatic she finally proved herself, slides along the bridge to evade the bats entirely. Once we're inside, we climb a tower with water-powered machinery, and at the top, I noticed a door. I'm sure some people got tripped up here, but you can attack this gear to open the door. On the other side, we see a huge crow with a key around its neck. We use Maria's birds to kill this bird's eggs, and if you can imagine, they're not happy about that. Doesn't matter though, Maria's doves are territorial. I like this next room where we descend. It helps with the scale and shows how far up we actually were. And down here, we found the locked door.
Oh, Maria! Are you all right, Maria? Yeah, I'm just fine because I have the same vampire hunter's blood flowing in me as that man Richter. I think he's fighting someplace else right now. Richter's coming. Oh my! Looks like you hoped it wouldn't be me who came to save you. Oh no, that's not what I meant. Thank you very much, Maria. Come on, let's go home. Not yet. There's still something I have to do. You go back without me. I'm gonna beat that vampire to a bloody pulp. See you! Maria! For heaven's sake, she can be as reckless as Richter.
While Annette chooses to wait for Richter, we climb again, but this gear here can give you trouble. You have to balance on it or time your jumps. Now we're getting in deep. Too deep. Maria, now accepting her limits, decides to hang back and let Richter take it from here. Thanks to Maria opening the way, it's time to see her.
Annette!
Richter!
You aren't hurt?
No, are you?
Nah, I'm fine. I'm overflowing with the blood of the vampire hunter after all. I need to let a little out once in a while.
Oh, well then.
You head back to the village without me. I'm going on ahead. It's time to end this 100-year blood feud.
You mean?
Yeah. I'm gonna kill him
No,
myself.
don't! It's too dangerous!
But this is my destiny. Besides, his blood is calling to me. The path up to here is safe. Now get going!
Richter! Wait! Richter! Come back. Come back in one piece. Please.
Okay, confession. I actually made it through a chunk of this level as Richter first, even freeing a net with him first, but I thought I could make things more interesting if I spliced the runs. So I played this level twice, only to find out if you already freed a net as Richter, you don't get to see the cutscene as Maria. So I used someone's YouTube video. Anyway, this is where I want to bring up the final part to my injected narrative. After Trevor beat Dracula for the first time, the Belmont name got the respect it deserved after being feared for so long, but with the legacy now being honored, could it have the opposite effect for the future? What if everyone treats Richter like a godly being and places great expectations upon him due to this new reputation? Everyone except Annette. She was probably the only one to treat him like a human and show him the good things people can do despite their flawed nature. What I believe Richter desires is to just have a life with her and not be tied nor defined by his family. But that can't happen while Dracula still lives. Oh, hold on. Did you see that? Damn, Richter, you gained and lost weight. Oh hey, there's the guy. Anyway, I think what I said before also fits the game's design. I said earlier that Rondo was trying to be the new cool kid, yet there's big references to the series past. The first level of the first game, the town from the second game, and the dungeon level had a song from the third game. It's as if this game is trying to say, I want to show you I'm cooler and better than anything before me, yet the legacy of the forefathers will still be there, influencing whatever path you choose to take. But all that aside, the last thing that stands between us and the Count is the Necromancer's ghost. This boss can be overwhelming at first because you're dealing with a lot at once. Small bats fly towards you, forcing you to keep moving. He brings back the behemoth to charge along the floor, reanimates the body of the wyvern to breathe fire from the sky, but there's a strip. You can score multiple hits on him depending on your position. Here, I managed to find a rhythm and kept comboing him. It was tough, but we beat the last major level. With all the maidens saved, we have but one last thing to do. Stage 8, Bloodlines. You'll want to remember that. This fight is the perfect final exam for everything the game's taught us. You can only hit his head, but you jump higher than him, so you have to time it when you land. He has 2 attacks. If you watch the animations, you'll know which one he does. For one attack, you need to be up close. The other, you need to back up. It might sound simple, but you'll only survive if you find a rhythm and trust your judgment. Dracula reveals onto us his true form, a savage man-bat. The ultimate test of reading your enemy and timing. He shoots a laser so fast you need to be far enough away so it misses, and he has a big jump which you can only avoid if you walk or backflip at the perfect time. But we managed to do it. We beat him. We beat the game.
Once again, the blood of Belmont has defeated me. Perhaps this, too, is part of my fate.
Death to you! The world is not yours to exist in!
It's your fault for being so mean to everyone.
It is not by my own power that I am resurrected. It is the greed of humanity which calls me back. And thus, by might, I rule. Might becomes the one and only justice in this world.
Of all the self-serving claptrap! The same basic faith drives all people to seek, to come together, to move forward. That surely can't be an evil thing.
I don't understand what that means. No matter how complicated you make it, a bad thing is still a bad thing.
And yet, here I am. Do you not have any desires?
Well,
it is by your desires that you humans prosper, and it is your faith which has ruled you. Considering that, can you really call me evil?
but people cannot be ruled by power alone. The sacred, the honorable, the loved, those things can rule humanity. Something evil will eventually fall to ruin!
I see. Perhaps you're right. We shall meet again, Blood of Belmont.
What you think is so funny? It's crumbling! Everyone, run for it! Quickly!
And that was Castlevania Rondo of Blood. First off, if you watch this whole thing, I really couldn't be more thankful. It's my first time doing something scripted, so I probably sounds rough, but thank you regardless. I was actually shocked at how much I enjoyed this game. The series nowadays is known for its Netflix shows, which vary in quality, and for starting an entire genre many other games would take influence from. But this style of game from the series has become forgotten, and I think it has its own merits. I genuinely see classic Vania as the closest to 2D Dark Souls you'll ever get. Dark, desolate atmosphere, a challenge to get through, where you will lose many times, but if you keep going, if you commit to your journey, you might find satisfaction. That philosophy could springboard how to do a classic Vania spiritual successor. Regardless, if I actually managed to get you interested in this series, then good news. Almost all the games are on Steam and other modern platforms, except for this game and its sequel. Those are PS4 exclusive. But back to more good news. For the first time in what feels like 20 years, a brand new Castlevania game is coming out October 2026, and it's being made by the developers of Dead Cells, if anyone knows what that is. Please buy it so we can let Konami know we want more. Anyway, I hope you had as much fun as I did, because we're not done. Remember when I said just now this game has a sequel?